Morning folks, today I'm at the Drumochter pass and my plan is to do a couple of munros up here behind me, Beinn Udlamain and Sgarnaich Mhor. Now, as you might be able to see, it's a little bit grey, a little bit clagged in at the moment up there, but on the way up past the Pitlochry, past Blair Athol on the A9, I could see little rays of sunshine poking through the clouds and I can just about see a bit of blue above me just now. So my hopes are that either this cloud is going to lift or burn off completely and give me some unobstructed views over the tops. Even better would be a cloud inversion, but I think it might be too late in the day for that. The weather this morning is pretty warm. It's about 14-15 degrees and it's only 7:30, so I think it's going to be a pretty warm one today. I've stocked up some extra water just in case. There's zero wind at all so far and the midges are absolutely loving that. I don't know if you can see them in the frame there. I can see them floating around the camera. Anyway, my plan is just to get stuck in, try and get up the first hill, Sgarnaich Mhor, as quick as I can and try and get some of those views. Let's go.
The adventure today begins in a lay-by at the edge of the busy A9, at the highest point of the Drumochter Pass. At 460 metres, it gives a pretty good head start for what lies ahead. There's an obvious track from the lay-by that leads you alongside the Highland main line. You'll come across a fork in the road. Head down to your right, towards the underpass. The first part of the walk is easy. A nice gravel track to follow up Corragoing, with just one little river to cross. Keep following the track until you reach a bridge. Across the river, you can make out the faint, muddy track that you'll soon be following to the summit. Cross the bridge and follow the path for a short while until you reach a muddy track off to your right. The good news is, it gets drier as you get higher. As I continued upwards, the mist began to thicken. I was entering the heart of the cloud. Visibility was poor, and I can see how you could easily drift off course in this featureless landscape. I picked up another track that would lead me towards the first Munro of the day. I couldn't help but feel like I was being watched. Eyes peering at me through the mist. Just a grouse. My fortunes were improving as the mist began to fade. The cloud parting, revealing a route along the ridge, almost guiding me to the summit. And quickly closing in again once I had crossed, granting me glimpses of the spectacular scenery that until now had remained hidden. And through the mist, I could make out a shape. The first top of the day, Sgarnaich Mhor, at 991 metres, translating as the Big Skree, perhaps named after the loose rock on its northern slopes. Effort-wise, it's a pretty easy walk to get to this point, with only around 600 metres ascent from the lay-by. I started making my way across the flat, shapeless expanse that is Sgarnaich Mhor, heading down towards a small bealach at the foot of Beinn Udlamain. The clouds now starting to sink into the glens, leaving the tops clear. This entire area is known as the Dalna Spittle Forest, but you may be surprised to find that there are no trees here. This is actually a deer forest, a term used to describe an estate used for deer stalking. So make sure you're aware of the local deer stalking information and avoid getting yourself into trouble. From here, it's only 200 metres back up, across a grassy, sometimes boulder-covered slope. Keep a close eye on the rocks, for some of them aren't rocks at all. Before you know it, you'll find yourself walking across a flat, grassy plateau. A line of fence posts leads towards a grey lump. A pile of rocks and metal fence posts, that is the summit cairn of Beinn Udlamain, the highest of the Drumochter munros. I climbed the cairn and firmly planted my foot right on top of someone's glasses. Sorry about that. The views from here were expansive and wide, but unbeknownst to me, I had yet to see the most spectacular view of the day.
Well, that's me at the summit of Beinn Udlamain, 1,011 metres. The last little part coming up to here is pretty easy. It's a kind of broad, flat, grassy ridge that you just kind of take a little stroll up. There's a little steeper bit down in the bealach before you come up, but it's pretty easy going, to be honest. The views today have just been absolutely spectacular. As you can see around me, the clouds are just rising up from the glens, slowly being heated by the sun. These are my favourite kind of hill days, just out in the sunshine, enjoying the weather. Just going to enjoy some iron brew, maybe a pork pie or two, and then make my descent back to the car.
So I sat and enjoyed my lunch amongst the twisted metal of the summit cairn, not realising that just a short distance away, the best views of the day were to be had. Sgairneach, a beautiful barrier separating the Drumochter and Alder munros. A 15.2 mile long freshwater loch that carves a thin blue line through the landscape. Now there was still the matter of getting back to the car. The return route is a little less defined. Head northeast off the summit, following a track at first. You'll reach another small hill before heading east, down through a steep, heather-covered and often wet slope. After about 20 minutes, you'll be back onto the gravel track that will take you quickly all the way back to the car. Hit subscribe and the bell icon if you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll join me on the next one too. Thanks for watching.